What is up, guys? Good morning, fellas. I hope I'm streaming to different platforms, the big ones. If you're here and you're looking at me, I know I've got my boys on my TT channel. They're here. They've been with me all morning. Right now, I am on the book, the what do they call it, the Book of Faces, guys. Good morning. Let's see if we're working, see if everything's working. I'm trying a little different experiment with my headphone, so I don't know if it's working or not, but we'll see. We'll give it the old college try. So if any of you all could go on over to the tube or the FB and help me conduct this little experiment. Let's see if it works. Technology, just gotta love it. Oh my goodness. And I got the comment through my headphone. It works. Woohoo. Thank you guys. Golf clap to everybody here. I'm going to give you a golf clap. And by God, I'm going to give you the double princess wave. Right here. You got it. Everything is working. I did not know if it would do that. It came upon me last night. I said, oh, yeah. And I can hear the comments too. Thank you. So I can hear my comments on all three platforms. I don't have to be looking at the damn screen. I don't have to squint to see it. You are rocking, helping me. Thank you. Now I can kick back. Thank you, Denise, baby. You are rocking it today, guys. Thank you very much, guys. This is a platform here. We got all three of them popping, and just talk about you. I'm gonna eat me a little bit of oatmeal. If you watch me much, in the mornings I'm fixing me a little bit of. Now book a damn call, guys. Thank you, guys. A little different camera angle if you're on both. A little different camera angles. I'm trying to be mindful that I have these two different angles, so I'm looking right straight dead between my two devices, and you don't know how what a load this takes off of my brain. So yes, I have my iPad. This is all that I have with the outside world. Yes, I don't see anybody. I'm a hermit. God, no, I get out and I work. But this is fun for me. I'm enjoying it. I'm trying to help people. What's up, JPP? You know me. The only thing that would make it better if this microphone, see this microphone is just hooked up to here. It's not hooked up to my MacBook, but that MacBook has a really good microphone in it. And when I'm this close, you still get a pretty good quality sound. So thank you all for helping. I love this. You all rocking it today. I appreciate it. Eat me a little bit more of my oatmeal. I know they tell you one of the big no-nos is not to eat when you're on camera. All of these things, when you're trying to educate yourself on social media, they tell you not to eat. But you know what? Everybody eats. Now, I understand about not popping your mouth and smacking. I try to be mindful of that. I have gone to, when I'm on here a lot now, I try not to eat noisy food. Noisy food isn't good. So I'm just trying to make it better, guys. Want to make this better? to accommodate my visual issues. Guys, if you're looking in on me on FB or TT or YT, you know, and maybe TT don't know that I have visual impairment. I am significantly visually impaired. So I've got all this new equipment and I'm tickled shitless that seems to be working. Um, and I appreciate you all helping me do this. Oh, Baron, get out of here, buddy. I love you, Baron. I love you, Harry. Harry. Could have used it to be a little more, a little hotter, but I didn't. I think this is some of the best tasting. I put a little too much vanilla in it, but actually it tastes very good. Guys, let's talk about you. My show only works if you all supply the content. I got a crap ton of video ideas that I have to put out today. I'm going to record about 3 or 4 videos. So, guys, let's get it on. I think I'll eat another bite or two of this. I hate wasting. So I'm just going to maybe eat the raisins. Why would someone go to all the trouble of creating a profile that says Baron Trump and then just randomly pick somebody that's going live and talk bullshit? Why would you do that? Like, sitting around on your mommy's couch eating Doritos. It's crazy how people just sit around and then think, "Oh, this will be funny. I'll get me a fake account." Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, I ain't got time for stupid shit. Normally now, unless, but something like that, you know, it's some Nimrod and Nimrods. I ain't got, but now every now and then somebody being angry or chippy with me, I like that. That's good. But somebody like that, just yeah, we ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that craziness because you can't even poke fun at them. Well, you know, I'm all for creativity, but somehow I guess he thought that was funny. Now he's going to go on to somebody else's live and do the same stupid shit. Oh, yeah. I don't know what you talk about, Michael. The Great American Recovery Initiative. The big beautiful bill, is that what you're talking about? Far as I know, no, and they're not my clinics. They're my daughter's clinics. If you really want to know, but I don't know. I've not thought of that. I write grants. We write grants for our clinics. We wrote a couple. We've not been funded yet through a grant, but we still look in there and try to write. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate you this morning. Let's talk, fellas. But I don't know about the big, beautiful bill and how it's going to play into what I do. Uh, I look for grants. I still look for grants. Me and Anna do. And my wife really helps looking for 'em. My wife's really good at looking for stuff. We're getting ready to write a bunch of grants in somewhere around July or August. Dora, well, I ain't no follow back guy. You should know that already. Don't ask me to follow you. I ain't no follow back guy. Come on now. I ain't no follow back, girl. I ain't no follow back. BANANNA, whatever it is. That's bananas. No, I like the follow back girls. I like them. I don't know. I write grants for a lot of different things. I haven't written one in about 8 months. If you really want in, what's up, Gizmo girl? If you really want um, help writing grants, I've got a book on my page. I'd be happy to talk to you about it. But the first thing I always ask people to do is go get my book. And it's not because I'm trying to sell the book, but this book will give you a crap ton of information about what you need to do to set your organization up. But if you're already a 501c3, you've got most of that done. So, if you get my book and you read it, then we can have a real good conversation about grant writing. From who I voted for what? I don't know what you mean who I voted for. Good morning. Hmm. Thank you for that. I just had a comment from the tube. Thank you very much for looking in on me this morning. I practice in Kentucky. I I'm licensed in Kentucky and West Virginia, but I do a lot of other stuff. If you go to my paperclip in my bio, you'll see that I do automobile accidents. And by the way, guys, if you've had an automobile accident and you were hurt, and if there's insurance out there, and if you were not at fault, I'll take your case. And when I settle it, I'll work your case. You'll have all of my contact information. You will be working personally with me, not 1,000 other associates. I'll work your case and I get 20% when we settle. Thank you very much for the compliment there. Stacy, it wasn't on my end. When my water was frozen, it was on the water company's end, which is good for me. Because yeah, they come and thawed it out. I knew my pipes. I paid a shit ton of money to have someone crawl up underneath my house and weatherize it. They put a little foam barrier all the way underneath my house. They called it encapsulation. So yeah, it's not freezing underneath my house. I still have a rodent problem and it's aggravating the shit out of me. No, Brooke, I didn't. Brooke, you can call me now if you want to. Is it about an accident? Was that what it was, or no? It is, Brooke. If you want to holler at me now, Brooke, while I'm live, you can do that and we'll chat. If you, I knew a fair amount about family law everywhere. Family law, Brooke, yeah, you can holler at me. Family law almost anywhere is roughly the same. Like if once a lawyer understands the concepts of family law, they can just about give you an idea anywhere. What, Brooke, I'll be off my live feed at about 11:30. I'm going to get off at about 11:30. What's up, Miss Donna?
What's that?
Not
Are
much.
you TikToking right now?
I am. Is there anything important you want me to?
Just anything here.
Hell, I always know you're working. I don't have to worry
I'm
about.
trying. Well, I've been sick, so
You sound all stuffy.
yeah.
Oh my
You know,
God, are you?
Robert's had a stomach virus. And
Are you
and
running a
I've got
fever?
cold.
Are you running a fever? Anything?
No,
Okay.
no fever.
Okay, good.
I ran over to the office yesterday and picked up the mail, so I did do that.
Did we get any 1099s or did you notice anything like that?
Didn't notice, but you've got some city tax things there.
Well,
So
yeah, we'll have to do those. I think me and Anna will take care of those.
we did get a new disc with the Carson medical records.
Oh, great.
Which once again I can't open. And I downloaded WinZip, and I don't know what it is about it that it just won't open for me. I've got an external DVD drive because nothing comes with the DVD drive anymore.
No, yeah, it sucks. Well, see, crap. Who did it come from? Did it come from the hospital?
Yeah, let me see. No, State Farm.
Now, State Farm is not the one that they're not the insurance that hit her, is it? That was it State Farm? It wasn't. I thought it was another carrier that's responsible.
State Farm is her
Right. Okay.
insurance.
Yeah. Damn it. Well, set that aside. We've got time for Megan's. I had
And
told.
I'm still trying to get the codes on the other one.
That-
login?
Yes.
No, it still doesn't work.
She said it worked on hers.
Well, one password you sent me was different from the password that she had sent me, but I've tried them both and it will not let me in.
Daggone
So
it.
I'm trying to call them, and every time I call them, they transfer me to subrogation department or whatever, and then nobody ever answers. And now they're saying they're not open, although they're open from 8 till 5. So,
we've got to get those.
But I'll keep trying that.
Yeah, that's the big one because we can settle that case tomorrow if we can get those damn codes, or maybe if the billing department can give you the codes, just once you get hold of the billing department for the hospital, because we're not dealing with that many dates. There's just 2 dates, ain't there, or something?
Yeah.
So I
think they'll give it to me. I mean, they're very nice, but they always transfer me to somebody else and then or whatever.
Yeah, just tell me, are you asking for the billing?
No, I didn't ask for billing. I told them what I needed.
Nah, don't do that. Just ask for billing.
Okay.
Just ask for billing because eh, they they'll have these. Once you tell them you're working for a lawyer with a lawyer, blah blah, they'll send you that. No, they'll just tell them you need to. You've got a mutual patient, and you're looking for some codes and billing. You've got the EOB, and you just need to bill the codes for the billing, and see if
Yeah.
they will, because they may have us down as attorney of record, and if not, maybe send them a.
They should have.
Yes. So try
They got
that.
our letter.
Yeah, try that first to see.
Okay. Yeah, I'll keep trying them today. So
Okay.
I
All right.
hadn't talked to you yesterday.
Well,
So
hers and I'm waiting. So keep looking at the email. They're supposed to be giving me a counter offer on Cody's case.
Cody hasn't gotten his check yet, but he did say that he checked with the post office and they hadn't had a truck run in a few days because of the weather.
Oh, well, that sucks.
So
Okay.
So they hadn't gotten a truck since Saturday.
Okay. Well,
So,
when did we mail that out?
I'd have to go back and look at it. But, let's see. It was right during all this snow and stuff we got up there.
Okay. Well, that's fine. Just bird dog it, but
The
his
21st.
well, his uninsured. I think that's State Farm, isn't it? I think. But anyway, that they're supposed to give me. I told her if we get to 20,000, we most likely can settle. So just be looking for that. They should be sending me something.
Okay, now I forwarded something to you yesterday. What was it? Let me see. From Progressive. Did you see that one, Lindsay at Progressive?
Oh, who
and
is?
This was on Alexis.
Oh,
on the PIC portion.
What
they just wanted to know if there were any updated liens or outstanding deals on it.
No, as far as I know, there's no there's no liens as far as I know. I'm done with her case. I mean, she's been paid.
Okay, I'll just tell her no.
Yeah, tell her no, because there's no liens. We've already. I think they had 0 liens on there. I think. So just don't worry about it. And we're not getting that PIP coverage anyway because they don't have any out of pocket. I've already asked them to give me the receipts for out of pocket, and that's not happening. And they've got a big dust up. You know, she's kind of went off the reservation, and mom and dad's trying to fix it. You know what I mean? So yeah. Well, just holler at me. Keep just bird dog. What's her name's April's, because that's the one we've gotten. Yeah. And then if you can reach out to the uninsured portion of Cody's, because we did talk on the phone. We negotiated a little bit, and I told her I think she was at 16, and I told her if she could get us to 20, we could probably settle. God damn, I can't remember.
Okay.
Could be through. Should be through my email, maybe. No, I would talk through the phone. I don't know.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Okay.
If you're going through a divorce, I had a question here. Thank you for the question. If you're going through a divorce, and I think if I understand the question correctly, you may want to repost it. But if you're going through a divorce, to see the other party and there's a safety issue, that is appropriate. But now you got to be real careful when you withhold visitation because of a safety issue. You got to make it real clear that you have a good record of that. And then because if you withhold a child, they're probably going to file a motion and say that maybe you're in contempt of a court order, and you always want to protect yourself. And if you can articulate that you are afraid for the safety of your child, or maybe for your safety, you want to, and a judge will probably understand that. but it has to be a fairly valid complaint reason. You don't want to come in to court with nothing if you're withholding a child. That's not going to help you. If I understood the question correctly, Donna was talking when it came through my headphones. So if you don't mind, you can repost that if I didn't get it right. You got to be real careful with your visitation stuff, guys, because it could cause you some trouble. When you withhold a child, you want to make damn sure you're on good footing, because you could be held in contempt. And that sounds bad, and it in fact is bad. You should always follow a court orders. However, if you have good reason not to do that, you want to make sure it's well documented when it comes to visitation issues. Most of the time, most of the time, a judge ain't looking to put you in jail. Most of the time, a judge will allow that other party to have makeup days, right? Makeup days for the child. That's been my experience. But again, every court is different. Every Oh, so they signed over custody to your parents. So what's the issue, right? What's the issue? If your parents have custody, which I don't know why you don't have custody. Why do you not have custody? And why does your parents have custody? If you want to call me, you can call me and we'll talk and let everybody hear. You don't have to tell me where you're from. But that's the facts are a little odd to me. Usually, if someone is in a domestic situation, usually you don't have your parents as the custodial person. I don't understand how that came about. That's a question in my mind. Why do you not have custody of your kids? Understand that part. So maybe help me understand that. And you can call if you wish. Guys, let's go. Thank you for the guys. Set the notifications. You can follow me, please. Follow if you're brand new, guys. This Eugene.
Smile. To accept, press 1.
Hello, this Eugene.
Hi, Eugene. This is Smile.
All right, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. So tell me what the issue is again. So what state do you live in?
I currently live in Missouri.
Oh, okay. So you've got you've got a situation. Is it a husband or just the father?
It's a husband.
Okay. How long y'all been
it's a husband.
how long y'all been divorced?
We haven't been divorced yet. I'm on a file for divorce.
Oh, you haven't filed yet?
I haven't filed yet because I'm scared that they're going to have to notify him. And if they notify him, he's going to know, he's going to get a court date, and then he's going to show up to that court date. And every time he shows, every time I see him, he tries to kill me. So it's.
Well, let's listen.
I don't want to see him.
Well, let's listen. See, so why do your parents have the kids?
So, try to make a long story short.
Yeah, just keep it short. I don't want, and try to, where I'm live, so watch the language a little bit. I mean, the K word, you just say, he doesn't want me to breathe. Say he doesn't want me to breathe anymore. Which is okay. Yeah. And if there's any substances, just say substances, something like that. So that way people don't get their panties in a wad. So what's the skinny that you don't have the kids?
So we were together. He was very violent, and he try to watch the language here. he did some stuff that was really, really bad towards me.
Okay. Well,
and then he took off and gave my kids to a convicted sex offender, and I called the cops.
well, he took off. What? So he took off with your kids.
Yeah.
Okay. How long ago has this been?
This has been like 7 years ago.
Okay, don't wait a minute, baby doll. Hold on. Now let's 7 years ago. When was the last time you saw your children?
I have my children right now.
Well then, okay. So the issue is
legal custody is with my parents, because to get them back, so I called the cops. The cops took my kids because my husband,
well, wait a minute. Hold on. Yeah. So you have your mother and father had the kids because of the domestic issues, right?
Right.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's okay. That happens. I just wanted to get some clarity. And did CPS tell you had to get some kind of classes or anything like that? Are you square with CPS as far as
I was square with CPS. Yeah, I was cleared. Everything was cleared.
So then have you not, how long has your parents had legal custody of your kids?
Probably 6 years. I mean, but I'm raising them.
Well, I understand that. So how come you haven't sought to get the legal custody back in your court?
Because I don't want to have to notify him.
Oh, okay. So we're back to that. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's and does he get any kind of visitation with the kids?
So he does have legal standing to have visitation with his kids,
right?
But he has essentially abandoned them. Like, he hasn't called, he hasn't shown up. He hasn't had any contact with them in like
so
3 years.
I guess my question is, he's not terminated or nothing like that.
No, not yet.
Okay, not okay. I just wanted to clear that up. So the reason he's not seeing the kids just because he's just doesn't want to.
Right.
And you don't want to stir the hornet's nest. Okay, I understand. I get it. Okay, I understand that. That makes sense to me. So what is the actual question now? So what is it that you want to know?
Well, so I want to file for divorce and I want to file for custody, right? And I want to do it. I'd prefer to do it in a way that I don't have to notify him. I don't know if there's a way to do that where I don't have to notify him. And if I do have to notify him, he reached out to me on Facebook, right? Through a friend request. And my, what are they called? Like a restraining order?
Yeah.
No contact order, whatever those are called.
Yes.
Is over, like, it's past its due date, right? So I have to apply to get another one if I want one. But if I do have to notify him, would I have to legally, like, notify him on Facebook, or will the courts do it through like the paper? Okay, so this is what you have to do. So first off, if his rights haven't been terminated, when you get a divorce, you still have to reach out to him. He's still going to have to get official notice of the divorce. That's the way it works. If he don't get official notice, you're not going to get divorced. However, if and you got to listen to me. If you're watching me, I will show this to you. If you have a good faith belief that you know where he is, you can have him served at the last spot that you knew where he was. If he doesn't get service, if he doesn't accept service, you can have him served through publication. After you've tried and you don't know where he is, and you've reached out to the last place that you know where he lived. And certain states have certain procedures for this, but you can have him served through publication, is what they call it. Served through publication. A lot of times people get a divorce and after many years, like your many years has gone by, and people move around. You lose contact.
especially if he hasn't seen the kids in how long? How long has it been since he's seen the kids?
4 years.
Okay.
3-4 years.
So that's a long time. So if you get him served through publication, now that's a procedure. It's a little more complicated. But if you try it the right way, you know where you think he is, you get your divorce, he has to get notice. But let me set your mind at ease. If I would probably terminate his rights now, not give him a chance to do anything. I would do the termination. Get him noticed, do the termination, because he don't have any defense to that right now. Does he pay child support?
No.
Okay. No child support, no visitation, no contact. That is an easy termination. That's an easy termination. I wouldn't even give him a chance to show up. I would terminate first, and then you can divorce.
Okay.
That's what I would do. I would terminate those rights right off the bat, because he's useless.
Can I do that like all at the same time?
Yeah, you can. You can get a. I
Yeah.
wouldn't make it real complicated though. I would probably, because this is what might happen. If you file for divorce and you get him served, that gets him all in a tither, and then he's going to come to court and want to visit the child. I would just hit him with a termination first. And then once he's terminated, then you get your divorce. That's the way that I would do it strategically. I mean, that's just me. Now, you might get another lawyer that says something different, but I would terminate first, because that seems to be the easiest route to get him out of the picture, and then you divorce.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot more simpler than that way. You don't have to jack around with him coming in and filing. Now, he still might do it, but if you terminate first, the judge is going to look and say, oh yeah, okay. So now you want to see the kids. Now you want to see the kids. It doesn't work that way. So a judge would probably you probably could get a termination.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yes.
I have a real question real quick.
Yes, ma'am.
So, when all that happens, right? Like, so I've been like told I should get a new restraining. So I had a restraining order in the state of Washington, right? And it was a 5-year restraining order. But now I live in Missouri. Should I get a termination and then get a restraining order?
I wouldn't even fool. He ain't coming around you. He ain't been around you. He ain't coming around you. I wouldn't contact him. I would just hit him with the termination. And then once he's terminated, then you can do all that other stuff. I would do the termination first.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am. You be good. Do you watch me much, or how do you watch me? Did you watch me on the tube, or where did you see me from?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm on YouTube.
All right.
Yeah, no, I was flipping, and you were doing questions.
Okay.
You were giving advice about relationships.
Okay.
I think the first time I saw you a few days ago.
All right. Well, thank you.
No, I really love your live.
Set your notifications and tell your friends, baby. All right.
All right, will do. You have a great day, darling.
Yes, ma'am. That's a good call. It's a normal everyday stuff, guys. This happens every day. Normal everyday stuff. It happens. It's unfortunate. But if you're in a relationship and you share a child with somebody and they haven't been around for more than a year, and you know they ain't coming around, and they're not helping out with birthdays or Christmas, and they're not giving any money, and they're behind, and if you've got I would go ahead and terminate those rights. And some of you in here, I get a lot of heat on this. Well, why do you want them to terminate the rights of that parent? Well, because that parent isn't being a parent. And if they ain't doing shit and all they are is dead weight, terminate them. Get them out of your life so you don't have to worry about you don't want to sitting wondering around when they're going to come back. Get them out of the way. You don't have to worry about it. You know, they ain't worrying about you. They ain't worrying about the kids. So get rid of that mess. So that way you don't have to worry, when are they going to show up and cause me grief and cause my kids grief. Your kids will be fine. You know, your kids will be fine. It is unfortunate. And I love marriage. I like two people raising a kid, but damn it, some people don't need to be parents. I say that all the time. Some people don't need to be parents. So, at some point, when it gets 2 and 3 and 4 years where that person hasn't been in your child's life, you just gotta get rid of them. Yes, and that's the issue. When they come back, it is just horrible for those kids. Now, one parent can raise a child, but I will tell you, and I believe this, one parent can't raise a child as good as two parents. If the two parents get along and they do what they're supposed to do and they're rowing the boat in the same direction, two are always better than one. I don't care what you say. Termin It doesn't matter if they're on birth certificate, terminate 'em. Terminate, terminate, terminate. Terminate, because 'cause they're not doing any good. They're just Yeah, foster parents, good God bless you for doing that job. I couldn't do it just because you get attached to the little farts, and, I couldn't be a foster parent because I'd get attached to them, and yeah, I couldn't do it. God bless you for doing that. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. Guys, if you're listening in, I I think there's something to that. What's up, Joseph? Someone just commented, that they don't think parents try to save their marriages anymore, and you know what? There's something to that. In fact, statistically, so this cuts both ways. Since the, um, um uncontested divorces or no fault divorces have grown in popularity over the last 30 or 40 or 50 years. That's an absolute fact. More states now allow for uncontested, no fault divorces. Used to be you everybody dragged their ass in the courtroom and it was a knockdown drag out, and you generally proved fault. If you proved that the other person was to blame, then you would get sometimes some kind of monetary, um, some kind of monetary benefit, right? If you proved that there was infidelity going on or all that, you proved fault, and there was something in it for you if you proved fault. Nowadays, with no fault divorces, but now see those fault divorces, they're very expensive. And so if you wind back the clock 40 years and you go back 40 years, or maybe even 30 years, not that long ago, divorces are expensive, particularly if you have to prove and it's a big, long, drawn out, protracted episode. So what happened years ago when you had to prove fault or when fault was a big deal, the person that made all the money had the upper hand because they were the ones that could afford the lawyer. And the other party, who may have felt like they were in a bad relationship, couldn't afford the divorce. They couldn't afford it. So you had that person, they knew that if they asked for a divorce, they were going to be dragged into a big legal battle and they didn't have any money. So that forced that person to stay in a marriage and work on it. And that just is not right either. And so, with the popularity of these no fault divorces, you have seen divorces skyrocket. So, there is something to the comment that people don't work on their marriages anymore. But I'm not so sure that that's totally accurate once you look at all these factors and you take them in their totality, and you recognize that long ago, people stayed in marriages because they had to. Maybe they felt, they didn't have any money, didn't have any way to pursue a divorce. So I think I like the idea of a no fault divorce, but I will also agree as a counselor and an attorney, I see a lot of people quick to pull the trigger on getting out of the relationship. Being married is hard work. And oftentimes, I think what happens in a divorce is people really don't understand. They really don't know who they're married to. They didn't spend enough time with them before they got married. And they really didn't understand who they were. And there's all kinds of things like that. But I do think there are some people, particularly if you're under the age of 30, society has told you that you have an absolute right to be totally happy no matter what you're doing. And being in a relationship is hard work. So you got to be willing to compromise. You got to you got to be willing to eat a little shit in your relationship. You just you gotta be willing to sacrifice. So, um, being in a relationship is hard, and I think sometimes young people, especially nowadays, society tells them they don't have to stay in an uncomfortable situation. And oftentimes when you're in a marriage or you're in a long-term relationship and you're in a long-term relationship, going through those rough spots makes it better. And but a lot of people don't want to get it. They're not into the grind, right? They're not into that, and they pull it too quick. And yeah, it's tough. So good question. Thank you very much for that, Missouri. I appreciate it. So guys, let's go. Yeah, I'm a Cincinnati fan since 19 early 70s. Well, okay. Thank you, Amanda. Someone in the chat says till you know till you're not breathing anymore is how long you should stay married. I can't get down with that either. If you're in a bad relationship and it is causing you physical harm or a lot of emotional harm. Now you're always going to go through some emotional distress when you're in a relationship. It ain't ever going to be hunky dory. But if you are particularly physically harmed by the person you're with, I do not believe the God that I know. I do not believe the God that I know wants you to be in a relationship that is causing you harm. I don't believe that. If you're in a relationship and something happens to that person and they are not the person you were married to in the beginning, and you are suffering because of it, you don't need to be in that relationship. In fact, you should get out of that relationship, especially if you have kids. So I can't get down. I I can't get down with that when someone says, "I believe that it's until we ain't breathing anymore." I cannot get down with that. That's baloney. I don't think What's up, Todd? I'm doing well, Todd. I hope you're doing well, my brother. I hope you're not on the road. I hope you get to spend a good weekend at home. Yeah, I agree with that, Chris, but at some point you're going to have to you're going to have to do it if you're physically threatened. Oh God. I didn't know that's a quick check. across Wyoming to Montana. That don't sound like that's quick. About the only way you can do that quick is through an airplane, a rocket ship. That don't sound quick to me. Chris? Yeah, Todd. You can't do it. There you go. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate it. You have a good day. Yep. Someone in the chat said that narcissism is a word that's used too much. It's used way too much. It has lost its meaning. Everybody that's ever had a relationship, and when it goes bad, they always claim the other party's a narcissist. I saw that, Renee. That word is so overused. It doesn't have a meaning anymore. Come on, guys, let's get us in the chat. What's up, Mountain Holler? How are you? Good morning, Mountain Holler. Sorry about that, fellas. Yeah, that emotional. I mean, a dude's gonna say that. Uh, I see I see a lot of people do the emotional thing, and sometimes it ain't it, uh that emotional thing to me is too much of an easy it's too much of an easy get. I mean, everybody goes through an emotional issues when you're in a relationship. Emotional distress is really hard to nail down, and too many people are too quick to say they're emotional. I do have a degree, Quentin. I have a master's degree in psychology. Marriage. I'm a certified family court mediator. I've done a lot of family and marriage counseling. I do have a degree, Quentin, and I've got a bunch of certificates in case you really wanted to know. I'm certified and bona fide. What's up, Bluff City? What's up, Bluff City, Tennessee? I love it down that way. Come on, guys, let's go. This show works a whole lot better if you all participate. I'm so happy I got my streams working. My voices are coming in my head, and I don't need medicated for it. I get these voices in my head. Doctor, give me the news. Voices in my head from the tubes and from the book of faces, FB, YT, and TT. Got all these voices. The only way I'm all right, Dave Sparks. The only way someone wants to know how a life estate can be relinquished. Only a couple ways I know of is if one of the person that holds the life estate, they can give it up voluntarily. They can say, "I don't need this life estate anymore," and then they can give that property to whomever they want. Usually, a life estate is held by someone who originally had the property. They deed it to somebody else. Um, that's usually the way it goes, and they are there until the end of their life, and then when the end of their life is up, it goes to the person that actually holds the deed. So they can walk away from it, or if they expire, then that life estate is over. So that's the only way. Once they have given someone property and they've retained a life estate, they are the one in control of that life interest. They can give it away, or God can take it away. God can take it away. I had a case once. So I'm going to tell a little story. I haven't heard, I haven't told this before. I had, in my practice, I did a little bit of property law, just enough. I find it fascinating. Although most lawyers don't like property cases because they're long, they're protracted, and they're expensive to do. When you really get into a big legal battle over property, it's a pain in the ass. So I had this old man. He was um probably in his mid 80s. He came in and he had a deed. And he said, "Can you fix my deed? Can you do this for me?" He said, "I need a new deed." I looked at it. It was a very old document. I looked at it and I read it, and he was part ownership with 8 brothers and sisters. There were 9 of them on this deed, and they all had right of survivorship. It was a deed created for that. There was a right of survivorship with all the people, all the brothers and sisters. And I read it and I looked at it, and I it dawned on me, this dude was the winner, right? He had outlived all of his brothers and sisters, and he was the one that inherited all that property. It was about 300 acres. It was a lot of land. And so I looked up at him and I said, "I'll be damned." I said, "You're the winner." And he got it. He said, "Yep, I'm the winner." And which was kind of sad in a way, because this old man had all this property. He's old, and he had to see all of his siblings pass away, but he was the winner. So on a life estate, um, if you hold a life estate, then you can give it up, or naturally it will be resolved when you're not breathing anymore. Yeah, it was cool. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Guys, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. God, I need to shave again underneath my neck. I'm itching. Guys, if you're looking in on me from YT, thank you. Good morning. If you're looking in on me with FB, oh boy, someone in the chat is calling me boring. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're the best. You're the best. Man, I'm glad, but you're here. This is like the second time you've made those comments. I know. He loves it, don't he? He keeps showing up. What's up, Jay? How are you doing this morning? Yeah, he says I'm boring, but he's always here for some damn reason, which I can't figure out. Thank you, Joy. What's up, Steve? How are you? Thank you, Mike. What's up, Elle? How are you? Oh, oh, 22. He's burning it up, ain't he? 22 followers. Boy, he's smoking it. Good job. Love it. I got a few more guys. By the way, subscribe to my channels. If you get a chance, guys, subscribe to my channels. You can follow me, please. Take a Yeah. Thank you, Todd. That's exactly that's exactly what I that's the sweet spot I'm trying to get to, Todd. Boring and entertaining, or interesting and entertaining, informative and entertaining. Either one. I want to try to be entertaining. Yeah, the way the Bills did their coach was, not the way that I would have appreciated it, but, those guys are knocking down a load of money, so, that well, thank you, Todd. That makes me feel good to know that you're hanging in there. What's up, my brother David? David, I am in Kentucky freezing my little ass off, freezing my hiney off. Thank you, Dave. Dave, guys, in here, David Jewell in the chat, longtime friend. We've known each other a long time. I've known Dave for many, many, many years. Too many to too many to talk about. Well, the way the Bills lost, but they're suffering from um and I hate to draw the comparison between Allen and Jim Kelly, but there's a lot of eerie similarities between the two of them. And I would hate to see Paul and Josh Allen very talented, but Jim Kelly was a good quarterback too. So there's a lot of similarities between the two, and it sucks for Josh Allen. It just sucks for him. Poor old Jim Kelly. What was he in 4 or 5 Super Bowls? Couldn't win one of them. Just poor fella. Uh, can you imagine? At least he got to the big dance, but he just never could push it over the goal line, right? I mean, horrible. Poor guy. What kind of business you got, Dave? Remind me again. Yeah. Remind me, Dave, what kind of business are you in now? I thought your I thought your wife is she a grant writer or a consultant? I can't remember. We're on that board together, that archaeology board. I think she's on the archaeology board. Is that correct or no? Or am I thinking of somebody else? That's it. That's it. What's up, Pixie? Oh, no kidding. Where's this facility at, Dave? Oh my God, and oh, I will patronize that. Where's it at? Where's it at, David? I love baseball, softball facilities. You have pitcher machines, batting cages? Um, oh, cool. Okay, so I'm confused. I do criminal defense work, yes. I prosecuted for about 17 years. So, okay, I'm confused, David. Is this David Jewell, my friend David Jewell? You got a business you got a business in Louisiana? David Jewell, my friend, are you the same one that I'm that don't make sense, David, that you've got a business in Louisiana, or am I confusing? Sometimes the voices in my head. Okay, God, phew, I was thinking. Alright, sorry, Dave. I loved prosecuting. Thank you, David, and so you're starting your business. Good job, David. Good job. Either way, props to you. I love it when people start their own business. Love it. I love batting cages too, man. I love that kind of stuff. It's fun. We used to, there's a couple people that tried batting cages up here where I live and it never worked. Sounds like fun. It's kind of like Top Golf, I guess, right? I love it when people start their own businesses. It's the best thing in the world to work for yourself. If you are motivated, someone asked, oh, good job, David. I would rather be prosecuting. So someone asked me what I'd rather do, prosecute or do criminal defense work. Prosecuting is easier. So if I'm looking on what's easier, prosecuting is way easier. Criminal defense work is very mentally challenging, a lot more pressure. You know, if you're a prosecutor, you don't really give a shit if the person goes to jail or not. It doesn't matter to you. There's no skin off of your hiney. But when you take someone's case as a criminal defense lawyer, it's, you know, you're dealing with their freedom. And it be it could be tough, you know, as a criminal defense lawyer. But I enjoy it. It pays better, but it, you know, it's tougher. No, prosecute, no, no. The what makes the it is tougher. Like the prosecuting someone is harder than you think. However, the tough part of the job is, you know, if you screw up somebody's case, so what? The person goes free. Now there might be something to that. You might have screwed up a bad case where you had a bad guy and you didn't do it right, and they're on the street again. That's not a bother to you as much as I don't think, because I've been on both sides. You know, I've lost cases as a prosecutor that I probably should not have lost. But as a criminal defense lawyer, when you lose a case, someone gonna go to jail. Or if you don't do your job, it's not always about winning or losing. It's sometimes it's about getting your client in a good position where they're not serving as much time. So I think the emotional stress is a little heavier on the criminal defense side. Because if you're a prosecutor, I just never, I loved what I did, but it didn't, the job did, I didn't take it home as often as I do a criminal defense work. Like I've got 4 cases on my docket right now, and when I go to court on their behalf, it it bothers me because I don't want them to go to jail, or I want to lessen their exposure. And arguing and putting your position out there when you know that someone's freedom is on the line, it's a different it's a different perspective. But now it pays better. This is Eugene.
Yeah, is Lorna in the office?
Lorna, she might be, but the phone went to me. So I would call back in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Okay, I will.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you see a lot of criminal defense attorneys have substance use issues. I've known a couple criminal defense lawyers, and they didn't have any way to release mentally. They, couldn't escape their position. And after a while, it takes a toll on you. And if you ain't careful, you'll get into substance use issues. Happens a lot with criminal defense lawyers because, the job is stressful. You've got people on you. I had one lawyer friend of mine, the moment he stepped out of his car to go to his office, he was a very popular, a brilliant lawyer, a good guy, very personable. The moment he stepped out of his car and got on the sidewalk to his office, he was surrounded by clients. They waited on him to come into the office. He and when he left the courtroom, there was always a trail of clients behind him. I It would be hard for me to deal with that. Constant nipping at you and just woof. He was very good at what he did, and success, when you're successful, you get a lot more clients, and it can be a curse. But boy, he it's just crazy how he was very good and still is. He's a judge now, but he's a brilliant guy. But I always did tell him, I worked on his campaign. I said, man, I don't know how you do it. That's it. It was truly amazing to see. And his office was full of people. You go in his office and there were 15 or 20 clients waiting on him. I mean, he never got a second's rest in his office. I did not see Don Lemon get arrested, but he should have gotten arrested. You don't go into a church house and do what he did. I don't give a damn who you are. You have no right under the Constitution. In fact, the Constitution tells you not to do that. You cannot go in a church house and set up a protest. And that's what that dumbass did. And he said it was protected speech. No, it is not. There are laws against it, and he's going to find that out. There are laws against what he did. And it's not a surprise that if he wasn't so dumb, he'd figured that out. No, I don't think it's a felony. It just depends. Well, they probably wanted to make sure he was right on the law when you do something like that. These prosecutors want to make sure they got a good case. Now, is it a felony? I don't know. It depends on what the law is. If the law says it's a felony, then by golly, they could charge him up. But, a misdemeanor, couple weeks in jail, send his little sorry ass out, see what happens, see if he learns. You know, he just when this ain't got nothing to. Someone in the comments said, "Oh, you must have voted for Trump." This ain't about who I voted for. When you go into a church house and stage a protest in a church house with the intent of scaring the shit out of little kids, you need to go to jail. That ain't got nothing to do with political affiliation. So if you're in the comment and that's what you think, you have drank the Kool-Aid. You have drank the Kool-Aid. That's nothing to do with who I voted for. Nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with Sanctuary City. Those are separate. That nothing to do with it. Two separate issues. Sanctuary City, Sanctuary City, interrupting a church service, two different things. What's up, Matt? How are you? Yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with political affiliation. You can't go in a church house and do that. Oh, he might walk, but that's up to the process. Just let the process go. Yeah, well, good for him. I mean, he should know better. You don't go in a church. He would have never done that with one of those churches in Atlanta. I guarantee you he wouldn't have done it. Guarantee you he wouldn't have done it. He selectively picked that church because of the color of their skin. And that's wrong. He said he did. So that's wrong. You just don't do that. I mean, I don't know why people, yeah, yeah, sound broke. Bobby Boucher, you showed up again, Boucher. I love you, Bobby. Bobby, I love you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby, for showing up. Love you, Bobby. Thank you, Bobby. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of concealed people all the way around, and that doesn't bother me, you know? You're not supposed to have them in a church house, I don't think. No, Melissa, it's not that he's a journalist. First off, you're using that word journalist a little loosely. He's a journalist the way that I'm a journalist, right? He But even if you call him a journalist, let's assume he's a full-on journalist. He's a citizen journalist, as they call him now. You can It doesn't matter if you're a journalist. He was involved in staging and organizing that protest. He didn't just show up to that church. And if you think he just showed up at that church, there is something wrong with your ability to understand and reason. If you think he just showed up, there's something wrong. You have lost the ability to engage in polite conversation. If you think he just showed up, so you can't do it. You cannot do what he did. I don't care who you are. You call yourself a journalist. This ain't got nothing to do with the First Amendment freedom of speech. Atlanta, Kentucky, whatever. Louisiana, pick your big city. Pick your AME church of choice. I mean, he would have never done that. He would have never done that at a predominantly African American church. He would have never done that. I don't know. If you have a, Second Amendment weapon in a church, so That's not a political thing. That's just you break the law. You be a dumb if you're stupid enough to do what he did, you gotta suffer the consequences. Yeah, he'll find out. I mean, what do they say? FAFO? Yeah, he's about ready to do that. I love you, Bobby. I love you, Bobby. You remember that little cartoon, Bobby? Alex and Mr. Pretty, and I'm gonna do a TikTok on Mr. Pretty. And it absolutely what happened to Mr. Pretty should not have happened. However, and I'm gonna say however, that's like the big old but. When people say but, when people say but, uh, and, something's coming when you say but. So, uh, I'm sorry about that. Let me get me a little light on the subject. So, hold on, guys. My my light went out. That's the night when the light went out. Yeah, it maybe should not have happened. Yeah, so when you look at those 2 people when you look at those 2 people, uh, Pretty and whatever the lady's name was, I forgot her name, it escapes me, the poor lady that hit that ICE agent with her automobile. Neither, in my opinion, neither one of those things should have happened. Those, I believe, law enforcement should have handled that a different way. Okay, so two things can be right at the same time. It shouldn't have happened, but at the same time, those individuals inserted themselves in a law enforcement activity, and when they did, they 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 suffered for it. So you just gotta be smarter, you gotta have some personal accountability, but this is how you know the media picks these people and lies to everybody about what a nice person they were. That fella, Mr. Purdy, was not a nice guy. We know that now. The media put him out in Front Street. First off, they doctored up his photo. CNN now has told you, and a lot of these news outlets, they photoshopped this dude's photo. They tried to brush him up and make him look better. They tried to make that lady look better, she was just a single mother, blah, 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 blah. It's like the Baltimore dad, he was father of the year and all of that. See, when the media puts these people out on Front Street and lies to you and think wants you to think that there's something other than they're not. And when the bloom falls off the rose, it ruins their credibility. Now, Mr. Purdy did not need to the stuff that happened to him should not have happened. Absolutely. There is no doubt about it. He didn't deserve what happened to him. But you don't show up to a protest. You don't show up to a protest, Second Amendment tool. You don't show up to a protest and insert yourself. Look at the video of him, which his family has verified, kicking, busting out taillights, spitting on officers. Look at that video, and then you tell me that he was just a poor old healthcare worker. He wasn't. No, he didn't need to happen. Yeah. No, I'm not a cultist. That doesn't have anything to do with that. There. S someone in the, chat there. No, someone someone in the chat, that's not true. But I honestly think both things can happen at the same time. So if you're in the chat and you're on my tube, channel, what is wrong with the statement of everyone has responsibility in the action with Mr. Purdy? What is the matter with that statement? So, what's the matter with that statement? Someone tell me what's the matter with that statement. No, it's not AI generated. Those videos are not AI generated. Yeah. Bobby, they're not AI. Thank you, Rosie. Um, it doesn't matter that he was carrying legally. See, that's where you're wrong. Someone in the chat on my YouTube is saying that he was carrying legally. That is not the issue. That is not the issue. Whether or not he was carrying legally is not the issue. The issue is it is that's not the issue whether or not he was carrying legally. He shouldn't have inserted himself into that situation. When you do that, things go get out of control quickly. So, 2 things, and this is how I know you're partisan, is when you cannot look at that and say everybody deserves responsibility. If you look at both of those situations with the lady in the car and Mr. Purdy, and if you look at both those situations and if you cannot objectifiably say there's responsibility to go around everywhere, then you're just not willing to look at facts. So so it's not, the issue guys, and you all everyone on these chats. No, it's not illegal to protest. Protesting is not illegal. In fact, it's guaranteed by the co okay, see, this is where and I love it when partisan people, no matter what stripe you are, when you're partisan and you cannot see, number 1, it is not illegal to protest. It is illegal to spit on an officer, to get in their way of their job. It's illegal to do that. You can stand on a sidewalk, you can protest all you want, but you can't block a road, you can't touch an officer, you need to leave them alone and give them space to do their job. That is not protesting. Throwing a brick, throwing a bottle of ice, a frozen bottle of water, that's not protected speech. Yeah, so that's different. You're allowed to protest. You do have to have in certain places, you do have to have a permit to protest, but your constitutionally protected speech does not include, does not say, does not allow you to get in the way or impede law enforcement. You can stand on the street, you can honk your horn, you can blow your whistle all you want to, but you can't set anything on fire, you can't spit on a police officer. You can't touch a police officer when they're doing their job. You can't do any of that. You can't throw a brick through a building, through a window. That's not that's not protected speech. You have a right to carry a Second Amendment tool, but you should not, even though you have a right to do it, you should not do it in the middle of a big mess like that. You just shouldn't do it. Like, you have a right there's some things you have a right to do. But just because you have a right to do it doesn't mean you should do it. So just because you have a right to do it doesn't mean you should. That's all that I'm saying. And if you cannot see that, then you are the one that have the problem, right? If you can't see that, you've got the problem. So, there you go. So, guys, I'm just sorry for you. If you can't see that, you've got a right to do all those things, but just because right, I think there's enough blame to go around, right? I think there's enough blame to go around. Um, one of the things I get all the time in my office, so one of the questions I get often in my office is someone will come into my office or they'll come into these chats and they'll say, "Can I do X? Can I sue my sister? Can I sue my mother and father because of a will contest? Can I sue the police? Can I sue whatever?" You get these questions all the time as a lawyer. Most of the time when someone asks me, "Can I do X?" I will say, "Yeah." You look at it, you can do a lot of stuff, but that doesn't mean you should do stuff. Just because you can does not mean you should. And if you do, his father, Mr. Purdy's father, told him, "Don't do anything stupid," or something like that. He's on record because he knew his son got involved in that other thing a week earlier. He told his son, "Don't do anything stupid." And that's what happened. And that's what happened to that poor lady that got, in the face, which I hate that for her. So you can do just because you can't. No, he's not a dictator. If he was a dictator, none of this stuff would be going on. Just because you have castle doctrine and stand your ground does not mean you gotta be real careful about those. Yeah. Yeah. No, J6 was, not an insurrection, it was a protest, and it was stupid. That most of the people that were there didn't really do anything wrong. There were some morons on the ground at J6, that's yeah, Todd. But just again, just because you're allowed to do something doesn't mean you should, and that's really all I'm saying. As an attorney, you gotta be careful, even if you're allowed to do it. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences, and people always misunderstand that. Freedom of speech, your First Amendment is your protection against the government. Ashley Babbitt did not deserve what happened to her. However, again, had she not been doing what she did, she wouldn't have got what she got, no matter what you tell me. Just someone in my YouTube channel, listen, she didn't deserve what she got, but at the same time, she made herself available. When you make yourself available and something happens to you, that's on you. That's on you. Whether you're Ashley Babbitt, whether you're Mr. Purdy, whether you're and I forget somebody tell me the name of that lady. What was that lady? I forgot her name, the one that got hit in the face. I'm sorry. Um, she had the wife. I can't remember her name. So, yes, Miss Good. It it's the same whether you know, whether you're talking about any of those people. So, yeah, good. I mean, they're all the same. Yeah, you just gotta use your brain. When you insert yourself into a situation that looks bad and something bad happens to you, even though you got a right to be there, so, it's not a question of did they deserve it. No, nobody deserves. I don't wanna see anybody lose their life. I don't wanna see anybody lose their life, but you gotta be smart. So, that's where I stand on it. You got a right to do those things, but you gotta be careful. Freedom of speech does not mean freedom from consequences. And anybody that throws out the banner that he had a right to pack, he had a right to pack, he did. But honestly, if you're being honest, do you really think even though he had a right to carry, do you think he should have carried one there and done what he did and interjected himself into that operation? They ain't arrested him. So it's just "What's up, baby?" How's Philadelphia DA doesn't know his ass from a hole. No, I don't carry, no. I think everybody you didn't see what you didn't see. Um, yeah, no, he shouldn't have done what he did. That's all that I'm saying. And anybody with anyone with 2 eyes and, 2 brain cells can see that what he was doing was not protesting. When you inject yourself into law enforcement activities, you got a problem. When Miss Good interjected herself into that law enforcement activity, when she blocked the road, when she hit that officer, you get what you get. You don't deserve it, but don't put yourself in a bad situation. It just sucks. Yeah, he broke the law. But if you can't look at all those situations and come to the conclusion that everyone bears responsibility, you shouldn't be talking about this. You shouldn't be talking about it because there's enough blame to go around. So, if Minnesota was not a sanctuary state and cities those cities were not sanctuary cities, we wouldn't be having this conversation because this same thing is not going on anywhere else. There's nowhere else that's going on because in large part, these cities and these other states are cooperating. They're picking up someone that is undocumented and illegally here. They're holding them, and then they're calling the authorities to come get them. So that way the transfer is smooth and there's no fuss over it. If not here legally, you are not here legally, you should be aware that so, you know, Melissa, you're wrong. Yeah, Todd, it's unfortunate. Uh, and when these government leaders stoke all those flames, when they do that, it puts vulnerable people at risk. When the government leaders get out and endorse that kind of behavior, people that are imbalanced, unstable, they listen to that, and it puts them in situation where there's danger, and I think that's wrong. I think that's wrong. Obama, thank you, Bailey. President Obama deported people because the state cooperated. It's the same process. He had the same process. I think he deported like 3,000,000 people, and he did it because these states cooperated. In fact, Tom Holman, let's remember Tom Holman, he gave Tom Holman a medal. Barack Obama had Tom Holman. Let's remember. Same guy. Same. No, if you're here no, 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 no. If you're here illegally, no, you've already broke the law. If you are here undocumented and illegally, you've already broke the law. So, under the law, nothing else needs to be done. Under the law, under the current law, nothing else needs to be done. If you're here illegally, you've already broken the law, and you need to go. Now, whether you go on your own or you go with the assistance of the government, either way, if you're here illegally, you gotta go. I mean, there's really nothing else. I don't know how you can argue with that. You've already broke the law if you're here illegally. The way the current law is, you got to go. Obama said it. Bill Clinton said it. Hillary said it. If you are here illegally, you got to go. So, that's where we're at. But let's talk about something else, guys. Let's talk about family and divorce. Let's see, Bobby, and that's where Bobby, I don't know that you heard me. Bobby, I don't think you heard me. I said there is blame to go around. There is blame to go around. Bobby, did you hear me now? Bobby, did you hear me, Bobby? Bobby, did you hear me? Yes. At some point, these people that are responsible for Mr. Purdy's unaliving need to pay the price. I'm an equal opportunity. I know it's getting ready to snow, isn't it? Send your heart me. Go ahead. Send it. Yeah, but there's enough blame to go around. There's for damn sure. Anybody that looks at that and cannot see that, no, B Bailey, you are incorrect. If you're here illegally, Bailey, you gotta go, and they do have rights, and they've given them process. We just had court hearings on that. You get a process, you get detained, and then you got to go. It's the same process, the same it's the same process that Barack Obama had. It's the same process that Bill Clinton used. So, yeah, if you're here illegally, you got to go. Sorry. I mean, t just you gotta go. You can do it on your own. They give you money to go if you do it on your own. Yeah, they get some process, but they all get in that process if they do it right. "What's up?" You get detained, you have a hearing, and you go. It's the same process Obama had, same process Clinton had, the same process that Hillary advocated for. It's the same one. Yeah, they give 'em money to go. You gotta go. If you're here illegally, you just gotta go. It's really simple. It's not hard. These state leaders and of course, Minnesota, the and if you remember, those people in Minnesota, Keith Ellison and, Tim Walz, they have every reason to keep this going because they're gonna be indicted for the fraud that was perpetrated on the residents and citizens of Minnesota. They stole billions of dollars, and they know it. So it's in their best interest to keep all this mess going. That's why Tim Walz ain't running for governor anymore because he knows his ass is like so, yeah, there is a process, Bailey, there is a process. No, I don't yeah, I'm not gonna go all I know is that I'm not showing up to a protest. I'm not gonna show up to a protest carrying a Second Amendment tool. I'm not gonna show up to a protest anyway because I don't wanna get in the middle of something because if you've ever been in a situation like that, it gets away from you quickly. I went to a protest as an observer about 3 years ago, and it was uncomfortable. I was afraid for my safety. I wasn't participating, I was there, and it was uncomfortable. So I'm not showing up. 'Cause when it goes downhill fast, and people that interject themselves into a police operation, you're gonna be watching them. So so, yeah, I've been in those situations, and it is uncomfortable. When it starts going downhill, you be careful. You all crack me up. Yeah, Todd, yeah, that's the kind you wanna go to. I know I've been to a couple, and they're crazy. That I just I went as an observer. There was a protest here a few years ago. Thank you. I feel good today. Uh, there was a protest here a few years ago, and I went to watch. Oof, and, you had the Klan on one side, you had a bunch of other people on another. It was it 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 was ugly. I Yeah, David, I knew they weren't gonna stick him with the death penalty. Yeah. Yeah, I knew they weren't gonna seek the death penalty for him, but, I mean, it's in New York, what do you think? No, I mean, I knew that wasn't gonna happen, and I think that's kind of a shame. I don't know. I think he should suffer. Yeah, there's mentally ill people all over the place, right? That person tried to break him out. I mean, how silly. How crazy it is. Oh, he is guilty. It was on film. They've got him on video. Come on, man. He was caught with the weapons. What do you mean? How do I know? He never once said he didn't do it. I mean, he never said he didn't do it. In fact, I don't think his defense. In fact, I don't think his defense is he didn't do it. I think he might be angling for some kind of mental defense. I don't Yeah, I don't think he's saying he didn't do it. In fact, I think he's saying he was justified in doing it. That's a good question. Let's get us off this, stupid topic here. Someone wants to know, can they do a will themselves or do they need a lawyer? So, this is the way I answer this, and I answer it this way all the time. Again, that's one of those questions, can you do it? Can you do a will yourself? Yes. Just like, can you protest? Yes. Can you carry a Second Amendment tool? Yes, if your state allows it, right? You can do all those things. But the next question, the question is, should you? Should you do a will yourself? It depends. If you're really interested in making sure that the stuff that you have gets to the people that you want to have, if you want to make sure that your will is carried out and that there's less chance for that will to be challenged, if you wanna make sure that you put yourself in a good position and the people you leave behind in a good position, then get a lawyer to do it. If it's important to you, get a lawyer to do it. Now, if you don't care, then do it yourself. But you reduce the chances greatly of there being a problem with your will. Because if you do a will and there's a problem with it after you're gone, you won't know about it. I do wills, yes. So, don't do it yourself if you're really interested in making sure that the people you leave behind get what they want. It depends on how you do it. You can do it yourself, that's what I just said. You can do it yourself. You can do it yourself, but should you is the question. Not can you, because you can. Under the law, you can do it. So that's always the question. People wanna know, can you do something? Yeah, you can, yeah, one of my friends just said that in a thread. A living trust is the same way. Don't do it yourself. Get somebody to do it. A trust is a lot more complicated document than a will is. If it's important to you, I help all kinds of veterans, but I don't do veterans pay, I don't do veterans benefits or any of that stuff. I have helped a lot of veterans. Um, if it's important to you and you wanna make sure that your chances of success, get a lawyer. No, a trust is just like a will, except it avoids probate. A living trust is a contract. You don't have to have insurance on it. No, I don't know where people get all this craziness. It's just like a will. Well, it's different than a will. It avoids probate. A will goes through the probate action. A trust does not go through the probate action. If you have a trust and a power of attorney, those are the two documents. You should have a will and a power of attorney, or a trust and a power of attorney. Now, there's two basic types of trust. There's a living trust and there is an irrevocable trust. Two different types of documents for two different types of needs. You have to first figure out what is the goal with those documents. What do you want to have happen? It's the first thing you need to ask yourself. And then that will determine what document you need, a trust or a will, because it's not an easy question to answer. And if you want some help on that, I have a paper clip on my bio. You can book a call. Mom can get a will of her own. Yes. Once all of that stuff has been done with your father's estate, your mother can then, now, once your father's estate has been settled, your mother can then do her own will. Yes, it's done all the time. All the time. Yep. 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 Yes, indeedy. Mm. Most people don't need a will, though. I would say most people. A lot of people don't need a will. Most people pass this earth with less than $10,000 of assets. That's the truth. Most people pass in debt. Most people pass in debt. Let that sink in your head. No, that's not true. Once all of this, once the estate is settled, she can do her own will. If everything has to be settled, all the transfer of property and everything, then she can do her own will with the stuff she has. Whoever told her she can't do her own will with the stuff she has doesn't know what they're talking about. There you go. Thank you. In the comment, someone said, set your kids up with a good trade. Set your kids up with a good basic education. Set your kids up with the skill to be successful in life. If you do that, then you've done everything you should as a parent. If you've done that, then they won't need your stuff. If you've been a good parent and you've done what you needed to do by your kids, they shouldn't need your stuff when you pass away. So set yourself up, set your kids up for success by making sure they have a proper education or vocational training, and then you don't have to worry about it. So just do that and you don't have to worry about it. Rebook it, Charlotte. I didn't, sometimes it doesn't come through or I don't recognize it. Book it again and we can be on. If I don't, if I don't accept it, you don't get paid, or it don't come out of your check. Sorry. If I don't accept it, but now if I accept it and you don't show up, I ain't giving the money back. I had one person cancel on me the other day. Like, when you book these, I set time aside. So when I show up, if you're not there, I usually send you a message. Hey, I'm here. And then, it's just, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, but you book a call. I think I've got one today. Someone booked a call for today. Uh, and I'll do that today. But guys, this has been fun this morning. I've learned a lot of stuff today. I figured out how to. And Charlotte, thank you, Charlotte girl. I appreciate you. Hopefully I can make sure you put your statement of facts in there again. You live now. I will pay you, Keith. Thank you, Pixie. I appreciate you. Boy, my hair's got the little fuzzies. I'm gonna go work out today. Very good question. Thank you on my tube channel here. Good question. Someone wants to know, is it a good idea to put your insurance as make your trust as a beneficiary? Yes, that's a good idea. But so let me dig down a little bit deeper. If you don't have, just to say you have one child, just name your child as a beneficiary. Then you don't even it don't even go into a trust. If you only, or if you have two kids, sometimes insurance policy will let you name two kids. Put them both on there. Now, if you got more than two, I I would probably put it in a trust and name the trust um, as a beneficiary. So that way, when you pass, whoever is the administrator over your trust will divide up the insurance proceeds. And you should always name yourself two executors over a will, two administrators. One should be older, one should be younger. You always want to do that. I personally, and the more I do this, and the more I think about it, I personally would put an institution in charge of your trust. If you're doing a trust, I would put a big law firm that's been around a while over your trust, or a bank. Sometimes banks will do that. You can allow a bank administrator be over your trust, because it's not, they will have someone in that position to oversee the trust when you're gone. If you name people, people pass away, and then you got a problem. So I like the idea of naming a law firm as the trustee or the executor. If you have a lawyer that's in a big law firm, because odds are they're going to be around, or someone will be around that will take care of that. Um, and it and I don't know. I would not name a family member as a trustee, because family members, if they're involved in the trust, or if they're involved in a will, they get all that wah, 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 back and forth with the family. If you name someone that's outside of the family, they will be able to look at this objectively, and you won't have any of the struggle, and you won't create for yourself a problem for your family members when you go. Yep. Always name a second beneficiary, or name a trust as the beneficiary. That avoids that problem. Very good. It's a good point. You avoid a, I mean, that's stuff that people don't tell you, because they just scheduled a mediation, Trashman. Go to the mediation. That's part of the process. Just go. You're in a good position. go to the mediation. You're in a good spot, go to the mediation. Yeah, and that's what you get into. Yeah, I don't know about that. Someone in the comments said she was supposed to get everything, but it's estranged kids. Now, there's something wrong with that. If you were given everything in a will, that's correct. If you have, but it has to be an irrevocable trust. Unless it's an irrevocable trust, they can still take, if you die indebtedness, they will still be able to take from it unless it's in an irrevocable trust. But, you got to be real careful about that. An irrevocable trust is quite different than a living trust. It's a little more complicated. It's going to cost you a little more money. Um, but they can't take from it either if you name them as beneficiaries, right? It automatically transfers. A beneficiary in a trust automatically gets the money. It's like a POD on a bank account, right? Once you show proof that the person has passed away, you get that money if it's a POD. Or if you're a co-signer on a checking account. That's exactly what I just said. Yeah, probate, if you have a beneficiary name, you don't go through probate. What's up, Beers? How are you? Thank you guys for showing up. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It has been an active morning, guys. You all have just done great. Oh, Pixie, I'm sorry. Sorry, Pixie. Yeah, I had so many comments coming through my brain. I got some on the other channels here. Someone's looking in on me on my YouTube channel. What's up, Just Mike? Yeah, if she was a trust administrator, she can change it. That's why you gotta be real careful. You gotta be real careful when you name those trust administrators because they can change it. Well, Kimmy, I don't know what's wrong with your paper, but that shouldn't happen. I don't know. There's something else that you don't know. You can't just change a trust. You can't. Oh, so okay, undue influence. Well, you have to prove that. So it's not just she didn't change it. He changed it. Now, whether or not he was unduly influenced is a matter of for the court. You should have filed a motion and you should have got involved in the case and you should have challenged it. There's a way to do that. You can prove undue influence. It's hard to do. You're welcome, Donna. Thank you for looking in on me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Showing some love to my YouTube people over here and some Facebook people. Thank you. My TT people. Thank you, peeps. The difference, someone wants to know what the difference between an irrevocable trust and a living trust is. The basic difference is in an irrevocable trust, you technically, as the person that owns the assets, you technically don't have control over those. So technically, you're removed from your assets, and a debt collector, such as Medicaid, Medicare, or any other creditor, cannot touch your stuff because technically it isn't your stuff. The trust administrator is in charge, basically owns the stuff. In a living trust, you still technically own the stuff. And when you do that in a regular trust, it is open for claims for creditors, you know, hospitals, governmental agencies. So that's the big difference. And an irrevocable trust is a lot more expensive because there's more work involved. That's the big difference. In a nutshell, thank you guys. We've had a call. Pixie, we bought someone wants to know, we have a condo in Florida. We are closing on it, I think, on the 13th. I'm here in Kentucky. My wife and my daughter's taking care of all that. We purchased a house with my daughter um, about 8 months ago. So we have a home. I'm looking for someone to build a pool. I think I have someone, but I'd love to have someone local who will do it for cheap. You just can't hardly find 'em. Yeah, we have a home. It could be a handwritten notarized. Generally, it's not just handwritten notarized. No, you're going to get into you're talking about a self-proving will. Every state has their own guidelines on what a self-proving will. I would not do one that way. If you're again, I said this earlier. If you are interested in what happens to your stuff after you're gone, get it done by a professional. If you don't give a shit about what you got, do it yourself because you won't know that it's screwed up. You won't know it's screwed up because you're going to be gone. But I assure you, if you do it yourself, there's going to be the likelihood of having problems after you're gone are way high. So yeah, we're looking to it's in South Daytona, and when we close on our condo, we're going to pay off the home and hopefully put a pool in. I want a pool. That's my priority. If a police Yeah, Daytona's nice. Someone 2 questions. Someone wants to know if they were caught jaywalking and they don't file charges, will other charges be dismissed? I don't know what that means. If you got charged with a lot of other stuff and they didn't charge the jaywalking, you still have to account for the other things that, you were charged with. Oh god, there was another question and I forgot it. I get so many questions coming through my headphones. So thank you guys. Someone repost that question. There was a question that was posted. Sorry. I apologize. Thank you, Nick. Nick Williams wants to know in the chat, how often should you update your will or trust? So when when you reach first of all, I don't think you should have either one of those, until after you have a significant number of assets. If you have accumulated a bunch of assets, paid off cars, paid off homes, insurance policies, if you've got assets more than, say, $300,000, you should get a will. And once you do a will or a trust, you should update them. I think personally, you should go through every year, and I know most people don't do this. Every year on your birthday, take 30 minutes, look at that will, and see if you want to make changes because a lot of stuff happens in a year. You may have put somebody in your will, and over the course of a year, you just don't want to have anything you got. So I would do every year, right? Every year, particularly when you get over the age of about 55. You should really bird dog that thing. You don't know how many times I see people in my office, they have a will, it wasn't updated for 15 years, and you've got people that are related to that person that passed away, and this is what they'll say to me, "But he said I could have a truck, or he gave me in this will, look here, Mr. Lawyer, they gave me $10,000 in the will, it's right here." And I'll see it. It says, "Give to Susie $10,000." Well, there ain't $10,000. That $10,000 that he had when he first made the will is gone because he probably spent it and he never updated the will. So you should always update that because that happens a lot. When someone dies, someone drags out a 10-year-old will and they think they have stuff and they ain't got nothing. And that's sad to see someone come in my office and hoping they got money. And so that is sad. That's sad. But the point of that is, don't sit around hope for someone to pass away and give you money. Don't be hoping. God did. Someone wants to know. I gotta say, God did, and they're gonna give me money. Well, you're gonna hope are you hope someone in the chat wants to know, should they do an irrevocable trust to avoid the possibility of losing their stuff through a car wreck? Yeah, if you plan on having a car wreck, just get insurance. Keep yourself some automobile insurance. Some places a statute of limitation. Yes, statute of limitations on criminal activity. Someone wants to know about criminal activity and statute of limitations. Yes, some crimes have no statute of limitations. So the statute of limitations is a long time on some crimes. So yeah, it happened. It depends on the state. It depends on the crime. Felonies generally have a very long statute of limitation. And depending on the felony, it may not have a statute of limitation. So they could come after you 20 years after the alleged crime. But it is very sad to see people hope to get money after someone passes away. I'm ha- What's up, Kristen from Indiana? Yeah, I'm having a good time today. We are smoking it today, guys. Yeah, people are fussy about tickety talk. It's 10:54, guys. Listen, and remember, I do automobile accidents. If you're wherever you're looking out at me, if you have an automobile accident and you, what's up, Alexandra? How you doing? If you have an automobile accident and you were hurt, I don't know where my sticker went. If you were hurt and there was insurance out there, I do that case for 20%. So tell your friends, 20%. I'm also doing some work with the Mark Lanier Law Firm, in case some of y'all don't know. We are helping individuals if they've been injured because of asbestos exposure on the workplace, if they've been exposed to rock dust and developed silicosis, if you develop mesothelioma. The Mark Lanier Law Firm is the GOAT when it comes to those kind of things. They're the GOAT, the greatest of all time. They're the GOAT. So if you have any one of those issues, guys, you can call me. Matt, I think we're going to go with the salt water and I work everywhere on a car wreck. Math, I'm thinking we're going to do a fiberglass and a salt water. If you know an irrevocable trust is protected from claim, it's protected from claims. If you have an irrevocable trust and you put your insurance into that trust, it is protected largely. In most situations, it's protected from claims. But you lose, people don't understand, you lose control over that, over those assets when you put it in irrevocable trust. You have to name someone as a manager, and they technically own, the trust owns those assets. So, guys, I do a lot of stuff and I would appreciate, thank you all, guys. Thank you all for showing up today. And if you're on my YouTube channel, guys, thank you. If you're on FB, thank you. Tell your friends. That's the way my channel grows. I'm so glad I got all this to go. I'm just so, you don't know how excited I am that I got all these voices to come through my computer. What this question came in earlier, and the question is, if a husband and wife have a will and one of them passed away, can the other one make another will? The other one can once that other probate action is taken care of. Once everything is divided and once everything is given away from that first person, did this the person that's alive, the other spouse, can make a will with their own stuff? Yes. Someone else said a lawyer told them they can't. That's craziness. But you have to wait till that probate case is closed. You got to wait till all of the property from that first person has been divided and done away with. Then you can, if you're the surviving spouse, create a will with your own stuff. Right? Woohoo. Guys, it has been a day. Thank you. Man, we have Bailey, guys, thank you. Todd, thank you. Renee, thank you. David Jewell, thank you. Those are people that I remember off the top of my head. Alexandra's in the chat. Thank you. On my YouTube channel, I'm going to gear it down here in a minute. I just wanted to thank you all for helping out. Anthony, thank you. Amanda, come on, baby doll. Keep it classy, baby. I'm here every morning. I'm going to try to be here multi-streaming. Now, my TT peeps, you all going to be with me every morning, early in the morning. But I'm usually here multi-streaming. I'm going to try to be here every morning multi-streaming on my other two platforms. I'll try to get here by about 9 o'clock every morning. But with you all got me early. 6:30, 7 o'clock. We're rocking and rolling. So book a call, guys. Automobile accident. BB, I did not see your question, my brother. What's up? What is it? I did not see it. Sorry, I was running my mouth, man. I tell my clients and I tell my kids, when your mouth is moving, your ears stop working. I tell my kids all the time. No wonder you can't hear me. You won't shut your mouth. When your mouth is moving, your ears stop working. They don't like it when I say that. But I am tired. I'm going to go in there and work out. Come on, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. That's it, Jackie. 2 ears, one mouth. Oh, way better. Good question. Oh, someone's clearing our bills here, guys, in the chat. Someone's telling us they're gonna pay for our bills. The oh Jesus Christ, the bills guy got me. What's the question? Sorry about that. I didn't get it. Sorry again. Repost that question. Someone gave me a good question. Thank you, Alexandra. Yeah, someone else sent a ah, thank you, Alexandra. And you probably that's it, Alexandra. Thank you. Is the question is, guys, for those of y'all looking in, is it better to have a mutual fund um or a term life or a whole life policy? Absolutely. Mutual funds are always better. Mutual funds will pay better dividends over the course of time. Um, Term life policies do well, but they're not really going to grow your money. I wouldn't put or a whole life policy. A whole life policy sucks. I like mutual funds. If you take a, if you, so you can do this yourself, you can verify this yourself. If you look at a mutual fund and you take a 10-year, just any 10-year segment for the past 100 years, any 10-year segment, you're going to see a growth of anywhere between 8 and 14%. That's pretty daggone good. They're solid. You can going to get some consistent growth. My wife's mutual fund for her retirement, the last 3 years have recorded about a 14% growth. So she's keeping it in there for another 2 years, and she's going to have about $600,000 when she gets ready to take it out. And then you get it out over time. So I always prefer mutual funds just because, and you usually, the statute, someone wants to know what the statute of limitations is. Apparently, there was some kind of incident involving a paramedic and they did not give oxygen. Generally, that's kind of like a medical malpractice or a negligence case. 1 to 2 years. It depends on where you live. 1 to 2 years. But you actually have to prove that they screwed up. The problem with those kinds of cases is you have to actually, the first barrier, the barrier to entry to filing a lawsuit, is that you have to have someone say that that person was negligent or that they screwed up. You're going to have someone to come to court and say that they screwed up. So normally a year on that kind of a case, but again, it depends on the state that you're in. But as a general rule and stuff like that, it's a year, sometimes 2 years. But if you think someone screwed up, the moment you believe someone screwed up, you need to get to a lawyer. That's always the safe bet. Always the safe bet. Guys, thank you. And if you're out there, please show my other channel, my YT channel, some love. Subscribe if you can, and go through, fellas, and look at some of my videos. Just get them to run. I'm trying to get 3,000 hours of watch time. I need 3,000 hours of watch time. Watch my videos, take a look. I'm going to upload this session on my stream, on my channel. There's a tab that says live, so you can look at my live. I'm going to upload it. I'm going to edit it and put a good title on it. So I'm going to keep these streams up here. So if you're damn bored and you want to listen to something, these aren't going to be as good as my guests. I have a lot of guests that I interview. If you go to my videos, and you'll see my long form videos are interviews. So I'm really trying to grow this stuff, guys, and I appreciate your help. I really do. Y'all been there for me. I appreciate it. Uh, some of you all on my other social media channel, my TT, have been with me from the start. I, my daughter and I, it was busy. Me and my daughter were sitting in front of a screen and we would have 2 and 3 people show up. We were tickled to death. Thank you, Renee. Me and my daughter were sitting here when we thought that when we got 10 people, when we got 10 people watching us, we were tickled to death. We were praying for 10 people. And when the numbers would go up, I would see because Anna was got getting disenchanted. And I said, baby, we just got to keep on. We just got to keep on. I think, and I would say to her, I think I've got a good product here. I think I've got something to say to people. Uh, I've got a good, I've got a good gig. I'm a former teacher. I'm a counselor. I'm an attorney. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm just like these preachers. Take what you need. Take what you need. And I used to tell her, I said, I think we can do this. And you all have really helped me grow. And I want to see this other channel grow and have some fun. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I do appreciate it. I went live on the YT last night by myself. Can ex-wife change the title of a someone wants to know if an ex-wife can change the title of something. I don't know what you mean by that. Generally not. If someone has passed away, card title. Card title, maybe. It depends. If they passed away, there are certain ways that you can get it transferred into your name. Again, it depends on if they had a will, what the probate status is. But if your name is on the title of an automobile and you pass away, there is a way to get it back over into someone else's name. But you can't do that unless if it's not paid off. Usually, there are some states where you don't get a title unless the automobile is paid off. You can't get one. The company won't release it. They hold a lien on it. They put a Leon on it. If there ain't no Leon on it, that makes the job a little easier once they pass away. But again, guys, all of the answers that I give you here today and tomorrow and the day after, if good Lord willing, if I live, are based on my experience, my education, and my training. I honestly believe there is not another lawyer that does what I do, that has the skills to do what I do. I just don't think there is. And I like what I do. I'm having fun. So if you like what I do, try to find a way to support me. I've got merchandise page. Um, obviously, I've got what's up, Janiqua? I've got ways that you can donate. Thank you, Sylvia. Appreciate it. So we're just having fun, trying to solve the world's problems. Well, depend. I'm all right, Janiqua. How are you doing? I'm going to about 5 more minutes, guys. I'll get off of here. I've got a lot more crap to do. I'm gonna see if I can get out. Me and Anna can goof around a little bit today. I haven't seen Anna or I haven't heard Anna in the chat. I don't even know where she is. I may call her right now and see. Let's call Anna. What about it? Let's. Okay, I heard that the car is paid off. Oh, and I've got to love it this on my YouTube channel. If I had real skills, guys, if I had real skills, I'd be in high demand. No, see, I will tell you, I am in high demand. I don't take everything that comes in the door. I work as much as I want to work. So if I was in high demand, guys, and if I had real skills, I wouldn't be on social media. Shoot, damn it. I got to tell my other clients that. Sorry there, whoever you are. I appreciate it though. Thanks for the hate. Love it. Boy, there's a lot of hate over there on the YT channel too. A lot of hate over there. Lot of hate. So the skills I've got are substantial. There is no other lawyer that has skills that I got, I promise you. Oh, I love it. So, yeah, I love it. I'm a little different at night, Easy G. Thank you. So I've done a lot of stuff. You're welcome. Oh, and it's a user. They've got and it's a user. So someone on my tube channel calls themselves user. They don't even have a real name, and they're telling me I'm an ambulance chaser. I'm telling you, I've never heard that term before. And I will, and I will chase an ambulance. I'm not above it. I'm not above it. I'll chase them. An attorney should touch base with their client whenever you reach out to them. An attorney's not most attorneys are not gonna hold your hand. They don't have time, you know. Someone this is the second time they've asked a comment. I'm gonna try to answer it. Someone passed away. Oh, thank you. They're giving me a comment. They said I was an excellent ambulance chaser. Thank you. I do chase them and I love to grab them. Whenever there's one to be grabbed, I only get 20%. So if I grab onto one, I only get 20% when I settle it. So there's this title in a car. Someone passed away. I guess the spouse has it. Can she get it in her name? Yes. That car title can be transferred into her name. Depends on where you live. If the car's paid off, it makes it easier. I don't know how else to answer that question. I've answered it. That's the second time I've answered it. So thank you for the compliment. I'll take compliments whenever I can get them. I'm an excellent ambulance chaser. You're all right, baby. No problemo. I do a lot more than chase ambulances, guys. I try to give you information that you ain't going to get anywhere else. I try to do right by my clients. Yes, I do. That's something I take pride in. So that is true. I don't have a lot of clients. I've scaled down my practice a lot. Lady said earlier that if I was in high demand, I wouldn't be doing this. Well, I'm going to tell you what, I'm 65. I've worked my ass off. I've made a lot of money and I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I like it. So that's a good question. And so I'm going to take my earpiece off. What's a realistic expectation of the way you should communicate with your attorney? I mean, it depends on how realistic you are. Listen, lawyers are not going to hold your hand. Usually, when there's a big event, you would hope that your lawyer is contacting you. But if you are worried about your case, I would probably once a month, if you've got an ongoing case, if you've got a case that's ongoing, And about once a month, if you want to drop them an email and say, "Hey, are there any updates?" I have a couple lawyers handling cases for me right now, and I just send out an email or a text to my lawyer and say, "Hey, are there any updates?" That's all. I don't wanna bother him with 10 pages of what I think about, but I send out an email or a text to my lawyer and say, "Hey, are there any updates? Is there anything I need to do?" The ex-wife will probably get priority over the truck, but it depends on the will, depends on how the will is structured. It just depends. The ex-wife, the one that was married, if she was married to that person at the time of death, she has priority in most cases. The brother-in-law or the brother is second in line. But again, it depends on the will. Depends on the will. That's the big deal. Well, if she wasn't married to him, then she's gonna be pounding sand. So if she wasn't married, then um that sheds a whole new different light on the topic. If she wasn't married, she's probably not entitled to anything. But again, it depends on the will. So these questions you're asking depend on the document. If there wasn't a will, then she's screwed for sure. If there was a will, it depends on what the will says. And someone had a property case. Let's talk. Well, okay, if there's no will, she's screwed. She's not entitled to nothing. M Magnum, I was a little sore today, to be honest. I was sore, but I'm gonna get in there and work out. I'm gonna do about 400 crunches, 75 or so push-ups, a lot of squats. I'm gonna get in there and really bust ass here in a minute. And then I've got to do some actual paperwork. I have a mediation, and I'm gonna write a mediation statement. I'm gonna do that. So I am gonna come back in here, and I'm actually gonna work. Yeah, I was a little sore today when I got up, and I had a hard time sleeping. Whenever I really exert myself and I exercise, it's really hard to sleep. I get restless. Yes, someone can always go, "Thank you very much for that." I thank you very much. I appreciate that. Um, can someone change someone wants to know, oh, what was that question? Oh, did you do the walkthrough and find a problem? Oh, good job. We were talking about the walkthrough, why you do a final walkthrough when you buy a house, and I'm always amused by it. Like, what the hell is gonna happen? Well, K-Rob just found out what's gonna happen. Did his walkthrough, and there's a little problemo, and, not his problem, as he says. The seller has to fix it. Oh, yeah. There you go. And I know you probably said, "I can't wait to tell that." I was gonna say something else. You can't wait to tell Eugene. So, there you go. That's why. Little bit of backup. Someone else, I'm sorry about that. I forgot your question. That's it. A little bit of escrow. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, that's funny. You never know. I mean, honestly, when I've done this. Oh, thank you, Heather. Someone wants to know, they have a will and they have left instructions, and this is a big common problem. So I'm going to give you a heads up right now. This is a common problem, and it cracks me up every time I hear it. So someone says they're going to do their will and they want explicit instructions on how their body is to be handled and instructions on the funeral. They're going to put that in the will. You can do that, but I will tell you, as a matter of practical, a will is like any other document. If they don't follow the will, it won't get followed unless someone is there to make the administrator, to make the person over the will, the executor. If someone isn't there to make the executor do what's in the will, it might not get followed, particularly when it comes to burials. You don't know how many times I've at least 3 occasions I've seen people pass away and they wanted their organs to be donated. Well, whoever was in charge at the time said, "No, I don't want that to happen. I don't believe in that." And then the person who passed away, that's what they wanted, but the person that's alive exerts a lot of control. So if you really want your funeral handled a certain way, you can put all that in a will. But at the end of the day, if the person that's in charge, the executor over your will, doesn't care, if they don't respect you enough, it sucks. Because some people will impose their own viewpoints on that particular issue for sure. I've seen people that wanted to be cremated, and the person that was alive said, "I don't like that. We're going to bury him." And the vice versa. I've seen that. So, a will is like any other document. It's only as good as the people that you include to enforce it. Well, I'm not saying that a will's not valuable. I'm not saying you have to absolutely know who you're putting in charge. Exactly. In the chat, someone said you got to know. You've got to know whether it's a will or a trust. You've got to know who you're putting in charge. That's why you don't put a family member in charge. Have someone else, a lawyer, some other friend. Don't put a family member in charge because you're going to have problems among the family. It'll cause problems. I'm probably not going to have that issue when I pass. Granular wills can get your daughter, if she's the executor, can enforce the will. Yeah, that's what an executor does. A will can someone wants to know, can a will get real granular? By that means how particular can a will get? A will can get pretty damn particular. But when you create a will that's really particular, that's always an avenue for more problems. You can get real granular. It's going to cost you a lot of money. And the more crap you have in your will, the more likely there's going to be a problem, right? So you keep it simple. Keep it simple. This Eugene.
Good morning, Dolphin.
What's up? How are you?
Not much. You doing okay?
I'm trying to stay warm. I was wondering. I was actually you wasn't on my list, but I was wondering if you was going to call and we was going to reset that date.
Yeah. I've got a we had to move stuff, and court's been a little crazy here.
Yes.
Last week or two.
Yes.
And so I have a couple dates if you want to check your book.
All right. Well, what are they?
I've got the first one I've got is March the 20th.
Okay, okay. What's the other ones you've got?
April the 2nd.
So you've got two dates, March the 20th, April the 2nd. Either one of those days don't matter to me. I mean, if I could do this via Zoom, and I know the judge don't like that, I could do it anytime. I'm trying to get to Florida. I've got some issues I got to take care of. So,
I get, yeah, but half a day like this, yeah, judge don't particularly like
I understand, and I'm not going to ask. I don't want him mad at me.
I know, but I know what you're saying though.
Let's I'll tell you what, let's shoot for the 2nd. I'd like to be down here for Hillbilly Days, so I'll try to make that stuff happen so I can get my hiney down here anyway, okay?
Okay, so April 2nd, I've got it 9.
Okay? Let's get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
I will do the order, and we'll do it April the 2nd at 9 o'clock.
Thank you very much, and tell Judge I said hi.
Thank you. Will do.
Yes, ma'am.
Stay warm.
All right, bye. Come on, Cherokee. That was a hearing. I know, Marianne. It sucks. I hate it, but that was the furthest one out. So we might be back in town. Oh, Hillbilly Days is a great festival. It's here in Eastern Kentucky in Pikeville. It is absolutely a hoot. It's been going on for about 30 years, and I like it. So we might be back here, and I'm gonna have to be back. So that's just the way it is. April the 2nd, we'll come back the end of March and be ready for Hillbilly Days. Sounds like a party. This is a four-wheeler case, and it's dragged on for over a year now, and it it was a divorce, and it just turned into a big goat rodeo. Oh, they sell everything here, Bonnie. It is big fun. We enjoy it. 39 years, Marianne? Yeah, 39 years, long time. We have been to every one of them except for maybe 2 or 3. Oh, Alexandra, it is a hoot. It is one of the largest festivals. It's usually in the top 2 or 3 festivals in the state of Kentucky. It's huge. There's probably a couple 100,000 people pass through this town during that time. It's a lot of fun if the weather doesn't get crappy. Usually, I think they moved it back later in April, so that way the weather isn't unpredictable. It's a lot of fun. We love it. Lo Well, Louisville don't care what we do in Eastern Kentucky, right? So Louisville doesn't really. You've got the Kentucky Derby, that's a big deal. There's another festival that's large, but the Hillbilly Days is one of the top 3 or 4. Google it, you'll see. Yeah, it's a fundraiser for the Shriners. Been doing it forever, since we were in college. Oh, Alexandra, you need to come up. I'm telling you, you ought to come up. We'll have some fun. Um, what do you mean? What do I do for my client? Oh, you giving me a comment? I hope. Yeah, yeah. What do you mean? What do I do for my clients? I try to help my clients out. Madai. Oh, okay, Madai, you gotta stop. Someone, Madai, you gotta stop. Okay, somebody get rid of Madai. Somebody, I'm not even gonna respond. guys. Somebody get rid of her. I can't. If land is sold, it doesn't matter who's paying the taxes. Whosever name is on the deed is the one that owns it. Whosever name is on the deed is the one that owns it. Doesn't matter who pays the taxes. Somebody wants to know. Paying taxes is not enough to establish ownership of a piece of property. If you're paying someone's taxes and your name isn't on the deed, then that makes you either a fool or a nice person. Either one. Take your pick. Don't pay somebody else's. But Hillbilly Days, Alexandra, is fun. You carve out the time. Now, look around for the hotels because they're hard to get, but it's a lot of fun. Or just come down for a day. You're in Knoxville, you could come down for a day, but it'd be better to get you a place to stay overnight, get you a good full day, you need a good dose of it. One full day, get you a good dose of it, and it'll be fun. We'll all get together. That would be actually quite fun. Come down. We'll have us a little meet and greet. That'd be fun. It's a big deal. Oh, oh, thank you, Zari. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm trying to help out my clients, you know. Um, there is an RV park here. Absolutely. I run up at the RV park. It's at Bob Amos. It's called Bob Amos. It is always crowded. So if you're really looking to bring an RV up, yeah, it's very nice. I run up there all the time. That's my main when I'm running, that's where I go. It's called Bob Amos Park. It's really pretty. That time of year, it's beautiful. Oh, Larry, were you 49 years? 1977 was the first one, I think, Marianne. 1977. It might have been 76, but I came to my first one in 79. I was a freshman in college. That was the first one I came to, and been to everyone except for maybe 2 or 3, just a handful. So, it's fun. Larry was in the chat. Where are you from, Larry, if you know about Hillbilly Day? Oh, you've been to Hillbilly Days from Jackson, Florida? Jacksonville? You got family up here or down? Yeah, up here. That's weird. Oh, Todd, I would love to go to Wyoming. They say it's absolutely beautiful. Maybe we can do a swap, right? Me and Marianne probably get out, and she's in the chat here. We'll probably get out and travel a little more, although Wyoming is a little stretch for us to be driving. That's a long way. You might have to put us up for a few days if we flew in. But Hillbilly Days is fun, guys. Mark your calendar, come up. It's just a lot of fun. You'll see shit you haven't seen before. Oh, is it kid friendly? Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of kids hanging around, but oh, you should check it out. It's a lot of fun. If you get a chance to come out through here, it is just a hell of a lot of fun. Is it kid friendly? I don't know. There's a lot of there's adult beverages, and there's a they'll love it. because they'll see shit they haven't seen before. Oh, the food is unbelievable. Unbelievable food. You can eat anything, any kind of culture food here. There's Greek, there's hillbilly food, there's Mexican, there's all kinds of fried, deep fried. You can get anything deep fried here. Corn dogs, gyros, or as we call them here, gyros, fish. It's carnival stuff. It's fun. It's huge. It's a lot of, yeah, yeah. Well, I don't know about cow balls, uh, but turkey legs. Yeah, I mean anything. It's hillbilly food is mostly beans, taters, sauerkraut. From Louisville, about 3.5 hours. About yeah, there's some inflatables. There's a bearded lady. Yeah. Yeah, you'll find a bunch of bearded ladies. Um, that's typical hillbilly food, what Sunshine and Disney said. That's typical, but that's not what you're gonna get here. You're gonna get a lot of different kinds of cultures, some Mexican, some Chinese food. You're going to see a lot of shit, but mostly a lot of junk, a lot of junk food. You're going to want to forget your diet when you come here because you got those, what are those funnel cakes? I can't stand them, but everybody loves them. It's just fried dough, batter, deep fried. Oh, Alice Cooper? Uh, from Louisville, probably about 3.5 hours to drive safely from Louisville. From Knoxville, 3.5 hours. But it's truly worth a day. I mean, you like I said, you're gonna see shit you haven't seen before. Now it's food trucks all over. I I I only like Alice Cooper. Um, Alice Cooper, I wasn't a fan. I like that one song of his, that sad song he sang. I can't remember the name of it, but I wasn't a big Alice Cooper fan. I it was though hard rock was not my scene. But he did have a song that I thought was quite good, so but it but it's fun. You should get out. It's one of those bucket list things you wouldn't think. You come up here. First, take a look at it, Googleize it, and you'll see. Google it. There's a ton of videos out there of people posted for it. It's a lot of fun. It's more of it's a stereotype of what people think hillbillies are, although you will find some real authentic hillbillies. Only women bleed, yeah, that's the one, that's it, and school's out for the summer, yeah. What's up, Italian Bob? Hey, Italian Bob, now you're the one that's got the restaurant down further south, right? Because me and Marianne are making a date to come down there. We're really coming down, so get ready. We're really gonna come down. I've told her several times, "Is this who it is?" And is, that Italian Bob, and we got the right one? Oh, I'm sorry, Italian Bob. Do you have a place? There's somebody in our chat that's got a place down south. Can't remember who it was, but I'd like to go down there. I can't remember who it is though. So that's not Italian Bob. I can't remember. Alice Cooper's got to be like 90 years old. I hate to see those rockers on stage when they're old. That's it, Italian Bob. I thought you had a restaurant. There's someone else down south that's got one. I'd love to have you. Yeah, it bothers me to see him try to be on stage. Yeah, would love to do it. Are you upstate, Italian Bob? Are you like up in Rochester and up you're out of the nuttiness? Or are you right down in it? Because I'm not sure I wanna I love New York. I've been there many, many, many times, New York City. Paul's Deli. Okay. Upstate? Uh, come on, get out of here. Oh, Wayne Newton. Okay. Oh, KC and a Sunshine Band, yeah, but now KC has I've seen KC on some TikToks recently, and he's lost a ton of weight and kinda looks a little better. Woodstock, New York would be cool. But I know we're gonna try to go down south and see that fella. Um, I gotta what did you say his name was, Renee? Maybe Marianne can look to see. Um, I can't remember. It was a deli, I thought, down south somewhere. I can't remember, because he's not been on here in a while. Paws Deli. Paws Paws Deli. Look at that look that up, Marianne. Well, we're probably gonna go down there and do some of this. 'Cause I would love to do I wanna go to the Keys and see Ernest Hemingway stuff. That's what I would like to do. So, now that I'm not paying 3 grand a month for that damn condo, I can afford to have some money in my pocket. So, yeah, that will be fun, guys, but if you get a chance to do Hillbilly I and I thought Huey Lewis we saw Huey Lewis, and Jimmy Buffett, and I think Huey Lewis put on a far better concert than Jimmy Buffett did. I was actually surprised at how good Huey Lewis was. I mean, I was surprised. Oh, someone wants to find a friend. Yeah, yeah, she gets a raise, yeah. We all get a raise, K-Rob. Someone's looking for some friends. Thank you, Alexandra. That's where it is, and it's in Tarpon Springs. It's in Tarpon Springs. Yep, that was it. But I was surprised at how good Huey Lewis was. He was quite good, and he was the way you remember him. He sounded the same. I mean, of course, now he don't dance and prance around, but now his sound was as good as it was in the '80s. Yeah. Hey, I thought I was actually quite surprised. at how good he was. Now he would be worth it just a single ticket, but boy, that was the coldest I've ever been. It was cold. We were cold. That that was our first Uber. We it did not work out well. No, it was indoor, but they had just had a they're in Nashville. It was Nashville. It was New Year's Eve. Uh, and it was a cold spell. I mean, it got down. We waited in line and it we weren't prepared for the cold. We had not dressed for it. We were dressing for like 40 and 50-degree weather. It got down to minus 5 degrees or something. We were standing outside before we could get in. And that's the coldest I've ever been in my whole life. And then when we came out of the concert was worse. So we hooked up the Uber guy. The traffic was so bad there. We made the mistake and got outside. Yeah, we got outside the arena and could not get back in, and we had to wait. Our Uber person got lost in the traffic, and yeah, and we waited. We waited for an hour or so for our Uber person, and I'm telling you, there were girls walking the street that had skirts up to their, you know, hoo-hoo, and I don't know what was keeping them from freezing their ass off. It was no coats on. They were walking the street. Oh, it was miserable. It was miserable. Yeah, crazy. Crazy. Yeah, we it was miserable. I would have paid $500 for somebody to come pick us up. No, I'm not shitting you. I had the money. I would have paid 500 bucks for someone to come pick us up because I was that cold. It was truly miserable. And I've been cold before, but that was a whole nother level. Yeah, I think it was minus 5 or 10 degrees. It was very cold. Yeah, that was nuts. I mean, it took me probably 45 minutes to warm up. I really thought I was gonna pass out. I really thought I was gonna pass out. I don't know. Apparently, that's a problem there at the Bridgestone Arena whenever they let go of a concert, the streets can't accommodate everybody, and our Uber driver couldn't find us. It was a big cluster, it was horrible. Yeah, Melissa, it was a big deal. Man, I was truly cold. I literally I can see how people freeze to death. I literally wanted to lay down and stop moving. I wanted to stop and just lay down. I was Yeah, you couldn't get the call because Wi-Fi sucked. Everybody was out on it was just miserable. I don't think I'll ever do that again. But of course, we didn't plan for it. That cold had come through. We weren't planning for it. Yeah, it was bad. Well, we couldn't get back in. When we left, they had, those doors locked, and we could not get back in. We tried. We couldn't get back in. Ugh, it was terrible. Uh, oh, the concert was a blast. Yeah, but holy shit. We waited about 50 minutes before we got in, and, it was probably maybe 2 hours, hour and a half, or at least before we got to our room. Ugh, I mean, it was just miserable cold. I mean, I literally see how people just lay down when they get too cold because I wanna just lay down. I mean, it was truly cold. I never got sick though. You know, we never got sick. And damn, there ain't no germs. Germs don't even stir when it gets that cold. Oh, yeah, the seats were really good. I could actually see. We were close enough to where actually I could see, which normally when I go to stuff like that, I don't even try to see, I just listen. When I go to a ball game and I'm in a big arena, I can't do it. I can't go. I love going to a football game. We go to the Bengals. I like the atmosphere, but I can't see the field unless I'm right down on maybe the last few seats we've had were real good. But a basketball arena, I can do a little better if unless the arena's really big. But I just go to enjoy the environment. All right, guys, I'm gonna go. I got things to do. I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you very much. But put that stuff on the calendar, guys. If you're close to in proximity where we're at, plan to come plan to come out to Hillbilly Days. That'll be fun. We'll make it a party. But get your hotel rooms now, guys, or your RV. Alright, guys, thank you. You know, when life and law collide in your world, you know what to do if you ain't got nowhere to turn nobody to turn to, nowhere to go. What do, guys? Whenever life and law collide in your world, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do, guys? Somebody tell me. There are 2 things you can do. Come on, guys. Thank you, Sarah. Book a call. Thank you. Give me a holler. Alright. Give me a holler, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you, Larry.